All right, so I have a Sonor Perfect Balance Jojo Mayer pedal. Just got it out the box, and there's a couple things that I don't like about this pedal already. I can tell it's still brand new because the pedal board, the footboard, actually still has the plastic on it. But in order to set it up, it's really difficult to move that. I expected it to be a lot lighter, and I know on other pedals like this it is a lot lighter. So I don't know if that's something that's just particular to this one. So putting it together, so this piece right here is hex, and it sits flush, which looks really nice. But this plastic piece right here is not a bearing, it is just a piece of plastic. And after watching the Sounds Like a Drum, how to supercharge your bass drum pedal, which I will link in the description, I am pretty disappointed because having a bearing makes a big difference right there, and it's just a piece of plastic. Now what I did, I happened to have a 5000 double pedal that I pulled the bearing off of, and I was like, oh, I'll just swap it out and upgrade it, but that'll present a challenge, as you'll see in just a second. All right, so here at the top you have the spring assembly and the bearing assembly for the Perfect Balance pedal. At the bottom you have the spring and the bearing assemblies for the DW5000. I will say I like the fact that the Perfect Balance one is able to be hand tightened. With the DW, what you do is there's a flat part this nut fits into, and you have to turn the spring around, like that in order to screw it in. It's a little bit awkward, but it's very doable. I like that the nut that holds the bearing is a drum key and not a hex key like the Perfect Balance is. It's just one less thing you got to carry around. Now, with the bearings, here's what I'm talking about. So this top one right here is for the Perfect Balance pedal, and as you can see, it is just a piece of plastic, and that's it. Whereas the one that came off the DW5000 is an actual bearing, and when you rotated it, it does feel very, very smooth. Now, like on the Sounds Like a Drum supercharge your kick drum pedal video, he took a Yamaha and just swapped out the bearing. So I was like, oh, I'll just do that with this one. But it runs into a bit of a problem. All right, so here are the springs and the bearings for the top one is the Perfect Balance, bottom one is the DW5000. So I was going to put this one on and then just leave it be, but the loop that the Perfect Balance one has doesn't even fit, whereas it would fit this one just fine. So then I was like, oh well, I'll just trade out the spring assembly. Well, no, you can't do that either, because the Perfect Balance, this screw right here has two flat sides on it. You can see those two flat sides, and when you look at this part, you see, yep, that is definitely not a round hole. So you can't even upgrade the bearing without having to, I'd have to unhook this hook right here from the spring and swap that out. And if you've ever done that, you know how much of a pain trying to do that is. So just really disappointed with Sonor and the fact that this is not even a bearing, it's just a plastic piece. I mean, the bearings aren't that expensive. You can order these for, $5 or $6 online. So with as expensive as the Perfect Balance pedal is, it's really disappointing they have this cheap of a part in there.